I met Frank Frazier in 2021. I have been painting for 20 years, but he completely opened me up to the idea of sharing my art around the world and thinking bigger than I'd ever thought before, with more intent and purpose. He's the biggest giver I know, the biggest receiver, and I really admire him and believe in his vision. And here are a few artists that he has impacted over the years.
I met Frank like in 2015. My auntie knew him because my family bought some work from him. Obviously, my family from Oak Cliff. They bought some work from him, and it was in their house for 20 years. And then one day, my auntie saw my little eraser building, these things that I make, and she said, "You know what? You need to go meet Frank Frazier." She took me to Oak Cliff to meet Frank. Went straight to his house. He said, "You made these out of crayon?" I said, "Nah, man, they made out of eraser." He said, "Okay, come on, let's go." So he immediately took me to Essence, and from Essence we did shows every week, every 2 weeks. We're going places. I couldn't keep up with him. Frank Frazier got too much energy. He's blessed by God, Allah, whatever you want to call it. He's blessed with the energy to go. He's the perfect role model to help us. Yeah, before I met Frank, I wasn't doing shit with my art at least. And now I've been able to pay bills with this.
I've known Frank since 2019. Man, ever since then, he's been the biggest mentor pretty much in my life. And that's not even exaggerating. In terms of training and shaping me as an artist, exposing me to new places in the world, literally. And it's all revolving around art, the growth of it, and development of me as an artist and other artists around us. So Frank has been a hands-on mentor, and I appreciate him for all that he's doing for myself and the other artists, the Visions in Black crew as well.
I've known him for a long time. I don't remember him yet, but he has a lot of good impact on my life. He's a positive person, a successful person, and I love Frank so much.
It might have been 2006 when I was first introduced to him. He took over my life. Yeah, that's what I'm used to. But when I first met him, he offered me the opportunity to travel with him and assist him in the art world. And I did that for many years. I was doodling on one of his boxes and he suggested I put it on the canvas. And that was literally the beginning of my art journey. It went from put this on the canvas, now make 5 more. And it went from 5 more to like, you need to exhibit your art at the art shows. And I never looked back. And that has changed the trajectory of my entire life.
See, I made it when I was 14 years old. Well, the thing is, I was just busy and I went over there with Emmanuel. Emmanuel was a lesbian, another one of his kids. He called us his sons. So I went over there, and back in the day, I had, Mike Tyson was a big thing. So I had hair back then. And I had like this, Mike Tyson had like this part in his hair. So I had the part of my hair, so I went over to Frank. Frank said, "Who the hell you think you are?" Mike Tyson. He said, "Who put that lightning bolt in your head?" So me, from the ghetto, I thought it was a challenge to fight. So I was trying to fight the old man. Back then, I think he had an accident where he was on a cane. But he was so vicious with his comments, you know what I'm saying? So I said, "Man, you get up from that cane, I'm gonna kick your butt." He said, "Well, I like you." He said, "You gonna travel with me?" He said, "You do art?" I said, "Yeah." So that's how I met Frank. If it weren't for Frank, I wouldn't be doing art. I'd probably be in the streets doing something else. But Frank, he, as a kid, as an artist kid, you didn't think nobody was doing what you were doing. He always felt different. But you meet somebody that's doing exactly what you want to do, and he's successful at it. So his impact was for me doing what I do now. Heart big as Texas. And he's got a mind that's like a whip. His memory is impeccable.
39 years I've been knowing Frank. Impact on my life, he helps me support and actually help me clientele my business. I'm a painting contractor by trade, and
lot of my clients come from Frank's clients, all the selectors, all the investors into the art industry.
I first met Frank in New York at the Harlem Fine Arts Show. It was an interesting meeting, of course, creating art like I do, and he saw my art, and, he invited me here to this, and so I definitely want to, do my best, and I definitely appreciate him for seeing my talent, so,
Well, I've known Frank as an artist forever. He's obviously been an institution here in Dallas, and I collected his work earlier in my career. I met him doing an art show about 15 years ago. It was the Delta Regional Conference, and I had my little booth up, and Frank came by, looked at my work, and said, "Give me a call, we should talk." And that's how our relationship started. And Frank basically is responsible for me doing my first set of shows, Harlem, CBC, Chicago, and introduced me to this whole art scene, and has been a mentor and advisor ever since.
So I've known Frank for about maybe over 30 years, a little over 30 years. And he's been a wonderful guy. I learned quite a bit from Frank. Some of the ins and outs of the art, world. Been doing quite a few road trips with Frank. Just, any kind of question that I needed to ask, all I have to do is just, pick up the telephone and give him a call. He's gonna answer. If he don't, he's gonna call you back. and he's very supportive, and and I'm trying to build my work and my art to where I can support others and bring other artists up and coming in the art world also. And for the length of time that I have worked with Frank, working with art, maybe a good 7 years, and I've came a long way.
I've known Frank Frazier since 2006. He's been very impactful on not just my life, but other artists as well, because he's always willing to help up-and-coming artists, established artists, break into the art world, to have their work seen by others and collected by others as well. So he's a staple in the African-American Black art community, not only just in Texas, but around the country.
I've known Frank about 4 years now, and he's had a tremendous impact on me. He's given me a lot of knowledge of the game, given me a lot of insight into opportunities and places to look for those people that are gonna find homes for a lot of the creations that we make.
I've known Frank Frazier since 2005 over in South Dallas at a place called Sankofa. I was in there sketching stuff, and he came in and asked me, do I want to travel around and help load the trucks? I said yes, and about the third time we did that is when I began bringing my art. So that was, 2005, 2006. I can't hardly do anything else. This is what I do. The impact of me creating art, me creating black art, which is everything in my booth. I didn't know it was as blickety black as it is, but it is purely black art because of where Frank has been taking us. Mostly black events, cultural events, the Black Congressional Congress thing, all of those is for us. So that's why the art became what it is.